This is Dan Dicks here reporting for Press for Truth with breaking news. The whole world seems to be in shock right now as over $1 trillion has just been wiped out of tech stocks because a Chinese company has released their latest iteration of an AI chatbot. This is an open source software called DeepSeek that rivals ChatGPT, and it was launched for a very small fraction of the price of what their US counterparts are attempting to achieve. And in case you didn't know, last year in 2024, the amount of liquidity that flowed into tech stocks through this AI race to superiority was absolutely parabolic. Like, an insane amount of money has flowed into that sector through companies like Nvidia, who are building these, chips to lead the AI revolution. Well, this Chinese company just released this, their rival to the chatbot, ChatGPT, and it's far better and it's far cheaper, exposing the fact that the entire sector is overbought, totally overvalued right now. And so the entire market is absolutely crashing on the realization that China is the ones who are merging here, and they're doing it far cheaper than the Americans are. I mean, Donald Trump just announced a couple of days ago at the World Economic Forum that he wants the US to be the global leader, the capital of AI. In fact, he announced a project called Stargate, which is an initiative to launch AI data centers that's going to cost upwards of $500 billion. And we're now finding out that this is probably totally unnecessary. They're going to have to completely flip the script now because of what the Chinese have just done today. And honestly, this shouldn't come as much of a surprise. I think I can pretty much pinpoint why this has happened. And in fact, we were warned about it by a very unsuspecting source, a former KGB agent named Yuri Bezmenov, who explained that Western universities have been covertly taken over by Marxists who are instilling a Marxist ideology. They're churning out students who are leftists. They've been indoctrinated with LGBTQ ideology. They're full-blown communists and authoritarians and are graduating with mental illnesses. Whereas, on the other hand, the Chinese, for the last 20 or 30 years, have been focusing on churning out scientists and engineers and mathematicians and the young future bright children who are going to be developing all of this technology that we're seeing now. So again, I don't think this should come as a big surprise, but the whole world is pretty much waking up to a massive shock today. This is it. DeepSeek into the unknown. This is DeepSeek R1 is now live and open source, rivaling OpenAI's Model 1, available on the web, app, API. Click here for details. It's #1 in the App Store today, guys. And here's some of the headlines that are making the news. What is DeepSeek? The Chinese startup that wiped $1 trillion off the US stock market overnight with AI software that costs just a fraction of ChatGPT. DeepSeek. Global markets crash on cheap China AI panic. We've seen stock markets hemorrhaging $1 trillion as the Nasdaq drops 3% on fears that China is winning the AI arms race. You've got this famous venture capitalist, Mark Anderson, warning that the Chinese ChatGPT rival DeepSeek is AI's Sputnik moment. And Nvidia has dropped 17% as China's cheaper AI model DeepSeek sparks a global tech sell-off. Again, this is the KGB agent who predicted everything. 15 to 20 years is how long it takes to change the morals and the ideologies of a nation. Marxist and Lenin ideologies have penetrated North American schools, and this was certainly not by accident, according to this former KGB agent, Yuri Bezmenov. So in this video, guys, we're going to talk about all of this and much more. But really quickly, just before we do, guys, I'd ask that you check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information. Here you can do a one-time donation with PayPal. You can do Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. You could sign up here or here for a monthly reoccurring contribution. You can also send an e-transfer to Dan at pressfortruth.ca, or you can send stuff to my P.O. box, guys. Links for all of this are located in the description below. Thank you so much to everybody who takes 1 minute today to contribute to my efforts here at Press for Truth to bring you this info. All right, guys, what's going on here with DeepSeek? This is a Chinese startup. DeepSeek sent big tech companies into a spiral with the release of its artificial intelligence chatbot. DeepSeek's AI assistant is said to perform on par with ChatGBT at a fraction of the price. After its release in January of 2025, it quickly became the most downloaded free app on the Apple Store, beating rivals like ChatGPT. The US stock market has lost $1 trillion overnight as investors lost confidence in Western dominance in the AI sector. Like $1 trillion overnight due to the Chinese exposing the fact that the entire sector is overvalued. That is absolutely wild. And, maybe, this is why Donald Trump, had to launch this Stargate thing and actually went in front of the WEF like just a few days ago, saying that he wants America to emerge as the, capital of the world for AI. Well, there's a major struggle going on here, and China has pretty much just emerged as one of the potential leaders here because of what they've done here by releasing open, sourced software that anybody can look at the code with and improve upon. This is absolutely huge. And I want to show you this this chart, which really explains it all. These are the top countries by number of STEM graduates. That's graduates who are graduating in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in 2020. And just look at the numbers for China. 3.57 million graduates for people graduating in the sciences, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And you compare that to the US with 820,000 graduates, a pretty staggering difference. And, this is exactly what Yuri Bezmenov was talking about that, and we'll get back to that. But I want to show you a take from Mike Adams, the health ranger, who recently put this out based on this chart. And I think he's pretty bang on with his assessment here. He says, this is why China has already won the AI race to superintelligence. Each year, China produces over 3.5 million STEM graduates from its universities, while the USA university system produces around 800,000 STEM graduates, plus another million woke idiots each year. The US university system, dominated by around 98% leftists, is an LGBT indoctrination factory system that replaces a child's brain with mass mental illness, stupidity, hatred, and intolerance. That's why U.S. university graduates almost all support censorship, authoritarianism, murdering unborn babies, and wide open borders that subject the U.S. to being invaded and overrun by lawless migrants. So while China's universities work, the U.S. universities are woke. It turns out that being woke and stupid and advancing people in their careers just because they're lesbians or trans doesn't produce AI advancements which are rooted in high-level science and math. Gee, go figure. And go figure indeed. It's no surprise that the youth of China are emerging as the future developers of AI, because it's just like, as I said, was predicted by this KGB agent. The youth of America have been corrupted with Marxist ideologies. It's been a plan that's been happening over a couple of decades, and unfortunately, it might actually take a couple of decades to undo the indoctrination that's being done here. Again, I think the world has just woken up to a rather rude awakening from the Chinese, who's just exposed the fact that the entire AI sector in America is completely overvalued. And they were able to create something for far, far cheaper. Again, totally flipping the script, and it's going to remain to be seen now what Donald Trump's going to do with this whole Stargate project, which just talked about launching $500 billion into building AI infrastructure projects that map individual mRNA, by the way. If you haven't seen that video, guys, be sure to check it out. I'll put a link in the description below. But just wanted to bring all of this to your attention, folks. You could blame the American education system, essentially, for why the Chinese are emerging as the go-to leaders here. And I'll remind you again, if you want to check out my interview that I did with G. Edward Griffin, the man who conducted this interview. You see him sitting right there. And I interviewed him not long ago about his interview with the KGB agent that revealed all of this like a couple of decades ago. If you haven't seen that one, guys, I'll put a link to that in the description below as well. And that's all for today, guys. Just wanted to bring all of that to your attention. Once again, if you do appreciate my efforts to bring you this info, don't forget to check me out at pressfortruth.ca/donate. You can check that top link in the description below of whatever video platform you happen to be watching this on today. And that's all for today. Thank you once again for watching. Please click the thumbs up button, share this video, and stay tuned, guys. We're going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.